All right, guys, these new, I think they've been out a little bit, but I haven't really been paying attention, apparently. But these new Tag Heuer Aquaracers, whether it's the GMT or the diver, which I'm going to get the diver on next to check it out, but definitely the GMT is really cool looking because you have more color combinations. This one's the blue with the black. There's a green one that is stunning as well. They kind of hit a sweet spot. I felt like they kept on going a little bit too big of a case and everything like that. These are smaller, 42 millimeter case. The bezel's like 41.5 millimeter. A lot of really cool features on this and a special movement that really kind of ups their game. So this is still entry luxury prices. They're not cheap. They don't give them away. They're over $4,000. So be prepared to get the wallet out and spend luxury money if you're going to get a luxury watch. So Tag Heuer Aquaracer GMT 300 meter water depth rating. Big thanks to Saltzman's out in Rhode Island, Richardw, the entire crew there for sending this watch and many other watches over for me to check out so you guys can see them too. Now let's dig into this thing. First off, size. I mentioned 42 millimeter. I did measure that from here to here, 42 millimeter. The bezel, I actually measured it about 41.5. It is a bi-directional bezel, 48 clicks, very solid, well done, ceramic bezel insert. 47.8 lug to lug, making this super wearable, mostly brushed with polished reliefs, so very good function there for an everyday watch, which I think a lot of people that end up buying the Tag Heuers tend to wear them. I still see in my day job, which I get to meet a lot of people, like regular people, out and about. I go to their homes and everything. I see more people that you can tell they bought a luxury watch or were gifted a luxury watch ends up being a Tag. Like that's the most common one. So they're onto something, right? And they have a unique look that is subtle. So thickness 13.6 millimeter. That is perfect for a 300 meter diver. Remember the Seiko SKX 13.5. So this is right there with it, but it has a GMT function and it's 300 meter versus the 200 meter of the SKX. The lug opening here is 21 millimeter. We used to think that was crazy weird or whatever, but the bracelet is amazing. You have a rubber strap that you can purchase for the Tag, or you can go aftermarket, and there's plenty of companies out there that make 21 millimeter wide straps now. The bracelet does taper down to 18 nicely, and you do have half links, multiples. And so like they really, like the Tag team must have just, Tag team, see what I did there? I didn't even mean to do it. They must have really listened to the enthusiast level of wants, bidirectional, clean bezel, GMT function, beautiful blue dials, the green dials, the half links, an on-the-fly toolless quick adjust on the bracelet, on the clasp. This is one of the better clasps out there, period. So it's easy to adjust. Basically, you push these two buttons here and you ride along with it. Don't expect it to do anything. Like you push them in and then you pull or push whatever direction you want it to go. And it is solid and it is very easy to use. You don't have to, the ones that you have to push in and stuff are easy to use too, but I don't think there's a dive extension. I don't see how there would be. It seems like maybe. I don't want to break it. Is there a dive extension, guys? I don't think there is. I don't see how there would be. If they stuck a dive extension in there too, my mind is blown, but I really don't think there is. Looks like we have pin and collar, which is far superior. Listen, you can argue with me in the comments, but I'll take a split pin or a pin and collar bracelet over a screw pin if I'm gonna actually use the watch for a long period of time, years. I've never had a split pin or a pin and collar bracelet back out or fail on me. Screw pins, I've had the screws loosen up. Higher quality ones do better, I will admit that, but once the bracelet's sized for your wrist, what do I care? Like how much of a pain in the butt it maybe was to size it. Quite frankly, if you're buying a luxury watch, you should probably have it sized for you anyway. That's part of the process. All right, let's get back to the watch. 6.7 millimeter screw down crown, and still to this day, these Tag Heuer watches that I get in here, when you unscrew that thing, it is a very robust crown and stem tube and everything, the materials. And I think that's basically, some of you guys may remember this, maybe you don't, but a few years back, probably like 10 or 15 years back, they had an issue and they resolved it, and they resolved it by not over-engineering, overbuilding it. So now they know they're never going to have that issue. That's part of those growing pains, when you have an issue, you solve it. Well, this company has done that pretty much everywhere I see on this watch. They built a beast, and yes, it is not cheap. But it is cheap, or not cheap, it's inexpensive when you look at when you compare it to other luxury watches, which maybe I need to do. The movement. Let's take a closer look at this thing. Beautiful dial. I know I got some fuzz on there and stuff. Their signature shield handset. Check out the sapphire crystal. Check out notice where the magnifier is. It's at the 6 o'clock to keep the balance of the dial, but that date magnifier is under the crystal. So you have those octagon markers, and then your cardinal positions are odd-shaped rectangles. I don't know what you call those. Beautiful watch. Simple oil-pressed case back. No problems there. Very smooth on wrist. And then the great bracelet. It's a complete package, guys. You have other colorways, like I said. There's no orange dial, and I didn't see a white dial yet. But if we get a white dial one, I might be back in. Probably the diver. I don't know if I'd go GMT. Actually, I probably would go GMT. If they did a white dial GMT, that would be pretty sick. The movement. It's a proprietary, because you notice on the dial, it didn't say like caliber 7 like they usually do. It just says GMT officially certified chronometer, because it is. But what did they use? They went with a proprietary. So they went with a company that is called AMT, and that's a sister company to Salida. And what they do is they work out the specifications for that brand to develop a movement for their specs, right? So this actual movement is spec'd out just for the tag, so much so that it has a Tag Heuer part number. It's called TH Tag Heuer 31-03 for the GMT, -00 for the three-handed with date on the diver. So what do you get for that? 80-hour power reserve. I'm not sure of the joule count. I still need to do a little bit more homework on there. But 80-hour power reserve, COSC specification, and some anti-magnetic properties. So all in all, pretty good move from Tag. It is insanely expensive to develop your own movement. This is a step, I think, in the right direction. I don't have a problem if you would have used ETA or Salida, but getting one that is your own movement built by a supplier, I think, is a good move. It is a caller's GMT. So I know some people are going to be like, oh, dang it, I thought it was going to be a traveler's GMT. It's just not. Sorry, guys. So you adjust the date in forward position, and then in the backward position, you adjust the 24-hour hand. And then you pull it all the way out, hacks the movement, and you adjust the time. So, anywho, let's put it on wrist. Perfect size. This 42 by just under 48 millimeter with this bracelet and clasp combination is perfect. If you have not looked at the Tag Heuer watches in a while, seriously go check them out. Go to Saltzman's, check them out, tell them I sent you. Pretty dang impressed with this guy. Let's loom it up. They didn't loom the whole bezel. There's a couple little nicks, but you know what? It gives them room for the next models to just like, all right, fine, you guys wanted this, then I'll give it to you. But here you go. So you have dual loom application. It's a little hard to see, but the triangle on the 24-hour bezel is tied with the blue to the blue tip of the GMT hand. You can kind of see it there. The rest of it's all green. Well done. Great job, Tag, and big thanks to Saltzman's for sending this watch over. Very impressed. Maybe potentially something in the future will land on my wrist from this brand. It's that good, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next vid.